I'm here this morning to give you the basics of one-upmanship. How we start the game is we always put a real money ante in the center of the board, $5, $10, $20, a dollar, a nickel, whatever you'd like, and then whoever wins the game gets the pot. Always start with $2,000 in the free lunch space. After all, this is America. That's a little joke there. There are 4 home bases: Beryl Clutterbuck, Johnny Mustard, Joe Sixpack, and Stanley Chadwick Morgan III. There are also tokens. In this case, these are custom tokens from the executive package. There's a shell casing, a bottle cap, a soldier, and a rock. Person who has the most US dollars in their wallet at the time of the game starts and goes first. In this case, it's me. I'll roll the dice and I get a 10. You always start where the start indicator is. You go in the direction of the arrow for the space that you're on. In this case, it would be that way, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm just going to land on Jet Setter Airlines. The company spaces are all the colored spaces. This number indicates the dividend that you would pay if you owned any stock in that company. You always move the stock indicator board up or down as indicated on each space. And now that I'm on this space, my next turn I will go in that direction because that's the arrow. That's the way the arrow points. So I start my stock indicator board in the center, and this one says down 1, so I move it down 1. That will indicate the price of all the stocks at this time in the game. In this case, for Jet Cetera, it's $102. If I wanted to buy a number of stocks in Jet Cetera, they would be $102 per share. So I'm going to buy one for argument's sake. I buy one, I place it in front of me. Anytime you land on a company space and you decide not to buy stock in that company, you have to take a money card. Play goes around clockwise, it comes back to me, I roll again. And this time I land on a real estate space, which is the gray space. I can buy that real estate for the price indicated, and I can build any number-story building on that real estate space, and then whoever lands on that has to pay me according to the size of the building. If the real estate is already owned, then I would have to pay that person however much is indicated on the deed, which is Empire Builders, and that'll outline everything right on the card there for you. If I land on the gold star space, again, always move the stock indicator board up or down as indicated as soon as you land on a space. In this case, I could buy a trophy if I'd like. Those are $2,000. This one's a private jet, and then I put that down in front of me, and now I have a trophy. I just want to point out that there are many ways to skin a cat. We can buy low, sell high on the stock indicator board and make our money that way. We can also make a lot of money on the real estate by buying it and erecting buildings on it. And also with the trophies, because each of these are worth on a sliding scale depending on how many you own at the end of the game. So they are very worthwhile investments, and you can actually win the game just by buying real estate or just by buying trophies. If, for example, I land on a shareholder meeting, always move the stock indicator board. In this case, even if I did own Do Re Mi, which I do, I own 1 share of that, I still have to buy 1 more share to enter the stockholder meeting or the shareholder meeting. And then what I do is I roll 1 die, and whatever's indicated on the dice, I multiply the number of shares that I have by that. So if I have 1 share, I multiply it by 3, I get 3 more shares. So it's a way to really make a lot of money on your stocks. A couple other spaces that I would like to point out to you: the corner spaces, broker fees, and tax fees. If I land on this, I have to pay $10 per every share of stock I have. In this case, let's just say I have 4 stocks here. So I would have to pay $40 because 4 times 10 is 40. And I put any fees, fines, or taxes in the free lunch space. If I landed on the taxman cometh space, then I would have to pay 20% of all the cash that I have. So let's just say, for argument's sake, I had $1,000 cash. I would have to pay $200 and put that in the free lunch space. Another space that you should be aware of is the bonus. If I pass that at any time, either way, I collect $1,000. The two other spaces I would like to point out to you is the Vegas and the do or die. Those are spaces where I can bet against any of all of my opponents and make a bet, $2,000, 2 trophies and $1,000, or you can actually throw in some real money if you'd like, and then you roll the dice, and the high score wins the whole pot. If, for example, it's on my turn and I say that I can win the game, I have $100,000, which is what you need to win the game. Someone else can say, I'm going to swallow a bitter pill, and let's just say, for argument's sake, they have $50,000 worth of stocks, trophies, real estate, and cash. Then they give that to the bank. They go back to their home base bankrupt. They put on the scarlet letter B for bankrupt. And then I have to subtract $50,000 in stocks, cash, trophies, and give that back to the bank. And now I'm only left with $50,000. I don't actually win the game on that turn, and this person has fallen on their own sword, for example, and has had to go home bankrupt, but at least they've prevented me from winning the game on that turn. The whole point of one-upmanship is to have fun. If you have any questions, suggestions, criticisms, good or bad, please let us know. And we hope that you will have as much fun playing one-upmanship as we've had making it.